Okay.
Hello and welcome to the Country Music social media sessions. And this one's a little bit different because today I'm in the spotlight. I've had a few people say you should be interviewed because I'm always firing questions at other people. So now it's my turn. So I'm delighted to have Andy Pritchard, aka Pilch Music, come to interview to me today. So thank you very much for joining us for my interview. So I'm going to leave it up to you.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. So, Helena Mace, award-winning singer-songwriter. You're a partner in country music social media. You just released your fifth album, Waterfall, to critical acclaim. You're constantly gigging either on your own or with your band Rumsoaked. You're a fitness trainer. You're a wife. You're a mum. You've got a documentary coming out. So, what are you doing with all this free time then?
Brilliant. Yeah, it seems like that, doesn't it? I do try to take bits out. It seems like when you say it like that, I'm like, oh my God, I do all that. But I do spread it out quite well. I like to think anyway. Keeps myself busy.
And you all that is against a background of serious health issues, which you've been very candid about on social media. You in a good place these days, or
Absolutely, yes. I'm still undergoing, well, I've had my treatment, and at the moment everything is stable. So they're leaving me alone until next year now, which is good. So I try and raise
okay.
awareness, especially for the fact that brain tumors can come in many forms. They can be cancerous, they can not be cancerous. Mine luckily was benign, but it's the after effects, the vertigo, the hearing loss, especially as a musician. I like to raise awareness for that. So I've always been open, because there's a lot of people out there that may have the same issue or something similar or didn't get it checked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good to be candid about it, and I think that there's no point in hiding it because it's part of me. And I try and move forward and try and hopefully inspire people to whatever's sort of getting them down, that you can move forward and that you can get through it. So yes, it's a long journey, but it's doing all right.
Well, you're certainly an inspiration. How how does that impact you, like when you're playing and in a
Yeah.
live situation?
That's the hardest part. I've had to adapt quite a lot because I've got no hearing at all in my right ear. So everything's going through my left. So I have to position myself a certain way because any speakers to the right of me, I can't hear them. So I have a strategically placed monitor to the left of me, and then I have to work just through the monitor. And that's the, and if I've got a speaker to the left, then I can hear it if it's fairly close. But if it's quite far away, then I just literally go on the monitor. Vibrations from the cajon for timing. I can feel that in my feet, so I do it that way, and just learn to adjust. And I'm getting there. It is hard because it's a whole different way now. I haven't got stereo sound
Yeah.
anymore, it's mono, but again, it could be worse. And I've just, if I want to continue doing this, I have to adapt. And I'd like to think I have. So we work with it, which is why I go out with the band a lot now. I don't go out solo as much because I can't gauge my own sound. I always take someone with me. But it's working, especially with Rum Soaked and having the three or four of us, it seems to be working very well. And I can hear okay if it's everything's placed in the right direction.
Do you have an issue with like background noise? Is that hard to differentiate between?
Yes, because the process, the sound I have is it's very hard to process speech, but I can process noise. So if someone was to play a song in my right ear, I could probably just about work out the tune of it, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was saying. It would just come out distorted. So background noise can be quite overwhelming at times because I have to concentrate on the sound coming from my own vocals, guitar, the band's, and then if you've got background noise as well, I have to try, weirdly enough, and switch that off. So it's learning to kind of mind over matter and pretend that's not there. And after a while, you can train your brain to a certain degree to switch that off. And I've got permanent, very, very severe tinnitus as well, which is all the time. So every so often that will, cause problems. But then I try and switch that off. Your brain does get bored of it after a while, and then it will concentrate on something else. So it's psychological, a lot of that. You have to kind of just focus what you need to hear and try and shut out the rest of it. But it's very hard to explain, and I think it's something you can only do if you have to do it.
Well, tinnitus, they call tinnitus the devil within, don't they? Like it's something you can never get away from it.
Yeah, it's incurable. Yeah.
And so, in this documentary you've made with Bournemouth Uni, which sounds really cool, I have to say. Do they? Is that something they go into, or is it what's the take on the documentary?
Well, okay, they contacted me because I'd done some work for them just after COVID, did with another group of media students. And when I did that, these media students were just starting and they weren't actually getting to go into the university because obviously there's lockdowns and all that sort of stuff. So when they were doing their dissertation and their finals, they contacted me because they remembered me from previous work I'd done and said, look, we'd love to do a documentary. Could you put me out an album and a single? Would you be up for it? And I said, absolutely, yeah. So we filmed over about 3 months. We filmed various gigs in the studio with Matt, my producer, and we recorded me doing like my running and stuff like that. And I spoke about the brain and the tumor and the deafness and everything. And it's a very small documentary. We have lots of aftertakes, but it's 20 minutes of just talking about what I do and footage from various gigs. And it's just gone to film festivals as well. So I can't release it until it's been seen by the film festivals, so which will be hopefully in September. So I'm looking to hopefully get that out later this year so everyone can see it. It's good
Well,
fun.
I can't wait to see that. It's going to be good. But let's go to the album. Let's go to the albums now. So 5 albums. That is a lot of songs.
It's a lot of songs, yeah. I've done five and a Christmas one. So I did started in 2016, where I released Wash Away the Years, which was kind of experimental. Couldn't really play guitar at the time. I'd kind of just sort of learnt a couple of chords and sort of winged it. And it was an introduction for me, kind of trying a bit of country, but a bit of everything at once. And then I moved on to do an album every 2 years. So I did Chasing Dreams, which was more country and folk, and that was with Matt Black again. All my albums were with him, and Tom Leary, who used to play in Fairport Convention, Lindisfarne. He was my fiddle player on it, and steel. And then I had Unbroken, which is what I wrote when I had the diagnosis. So I wrote that, and that came out in lockdown and got to number one. Because obviously then we couldn't tour or do anything because obviously we were all in lockdown, so everything was done online. And then the same year I released a Christmas album, which was a mix of covers and some originals on there. And then I did can't remember now. What to do? Oh yeah, Echoes 2 years ago, and Waterfalls just gone. Yeah, Waterfalls was my album I've just released, and that got to number two. Was just picked by the Twisters album from the new film. So again, still you can't compete with that. So that was brilliant. Really, really pleased with it, and it's a selection of songs that are positive, very personal, and things that I've kind of observed over the last couple of years. I think a lot of people have struggled since COVID times. But I wanted to bring something positive to music and do my own style. So I'm very influenced by country and folk, but I'm not a complete country artist. I'm very influenced by it, and I love artists such as Fleetwood. So that was kind of my influence that I was going for on the Waterfalls album. And yeah, I love it. It's I haven't really got a favourite as such, but I say if I had, it'd probably be up there. That one.
It's a great album. Particularly, I like Out of Nowhere. That's a really cool track.
Oh right, thank you. Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
doing a video hopefully for that soon. Just filming some bits to get that out. But
yeah,
yeah, that was just kind of a positive kind of like, yeah, just, everyone's got someone, and if you haven't, you've had it. If you haven't got it yet, you will, kind of thing. And just in a world where everything's a little bit all over the place, it's nice to have that special someone. So that is kind of just technically a love song, and I do write love
yeah.
songs, but not usually that direct. So I love it.
Yeah.
It's a nice little, yeah, it's a nice little song. Be good for a first
And
time.
what and Waterfalls itself is that's a really sort of earwormy kind of catchy song. That's really good. I like the feel of that. The really high guitars. It's really cool.
Yeah, one of
Uh,
my favorites.
So we're entering into award season.
Yeah.
So what are you up for this year?
I've actually quite a few. I'm up for a UK Country Music Award for UK Country Radio. I'm up for Female of the Year and Country Artist of the Year, and of course I won it last year. So I'm just so happy to have managed to get that in the first place. So yeah, I'm really to be up again. I think it's like fifth or sixth time that I've been up for award with them. And I'm up for 8 European Country and Music Awards as well. So that's for various things, and I think that's around the same time as the UK ones. And then I'm up for awards in Texas, International Sounds Awards, which is like the Texas kind of CMAs. And we're going out there at the end of next month. So going up to perform in Marshall. And yeah, I can't believe it's actually happening and it's coming around really scarily fast. So yeah, quite a few
Wow.
awards. God, it's completely overwhelming, but it's fantastic to have my music out there and people enjoy it.
And so you going to Texas with the band?
Yes, so it's just the three of us going out with as a band, but we're taking our daughter and Dave, our bassist wife, is coming out as well to do lots of like filming and that kind of thing. So it's a long one because we're doing a bit of a trip from Heathrow to Dublin, Dublin to Chicago, Chicago to Dallas, Dallas to Marshall, and on the way
Oh,
back to New York, New York, and then back to Heathrow. So it's going to be a exciting but very tiring week, but it'll be great. I can't wait. Really looking forward to it.
that's a lot of trekking, that is, isn't it?
It
You
is.
decided you decided what songs you're going to do?
Yeah, all originals. So because I've got so many, it's very difficult to decide. So what I've done is come up with a mix because it's only 20 minutes. That's all the performance is. So I've got to squeeze in five songs. So I've got one couple from the new album, and then it's like the other three are from the last two albums. Keeping it upbeat, keeping it positive. One ballad in the middle, but trying to work with different types of what I've done and because songwriter awards as well and all that kind of thing. So I want them to be able to hear some of the stuff. So strip it right back with an acoustic sound, lots of harmonica, lots of harmonies. Yeah, and it's the first time I've been able to fly since my radiotherapy as well, because I haven't been able to fly. So it's been yeah. So I'm doing 5 flights in a week. I just go all
Oh,
out.
yeah. You need a lot of boiled sweets
I will do. Yes, absolutely.
for those takeoffs. Yeah. So is it the Texas one? That's a songwriter award you're up for. It's not a country music award.
It's country music, but it's songwriter, artist, female, everything. It's like we're up for numerous awards, so we don't know what we're going to be up for when we get there, which is fantastic. So we're trying to, with the songs I'm doing, I'm trying to cover all angles. So making sure that lyrically everything's good, to make sure vocally it sounds good, picking the right songs. So because we're going to be different, I know we're going to be very different to a lot of other people that go. We want to stand out and not
Mm.
be like everybody else. We want to be different. So we're coming up with a really cool kind of acoustic, rustic type sound with five of my songs, and they're all going to be mine. So yeah, really excited.
Well, that's a similar lineup to the Luminaires, isn't it? I mean, they're very popular out there. So yeah. So with all this going on, do you find yourself like writing songs all the time, or do you like, right, I'm doing an album, I need to write a load of songs? How does it work for you?
Yeah, it's always an interesting question that because I don't know about you, but it seems to change every time I do an album. Waterfalls I had in mind for the last year or so, and I'd already released a couple of singles from it. I'd already come up with sometimes I come up with lyrics first. I'm sat there just tinkering around and I write some lyrics, or sometimes I can be just tuning my guitar and then a melody will come to me, and I save them all in like a little bank on my phone, and then just try and put them together. But I had an idea for Waterfalls, and I always wanted it to be called Waterfalls. And in fact, that particular single from that album was the last one I wrote. I was going to just write a song called Waterfall, make it about that, yeah. But a couple of them had already been done. Some of them had already been written. I've got a sort of bank of songs, and I'm already starting on the next album. I always kind of step ahead of myself. But I won't be releasing any albums now for another probably 18 months or so. But I will be dropping a couple of singles and some Christmas stuff as well. I've got some Christmas originals that haven't been released on an album yet, so I'm just going to do a little compilation over Christmas, just for a fan thing, really. But I find that it's just what comes in my head while I scribble it down, so I can observe things and then think, oh, that'd be a good song, or I'll come up with a lyric in my head. I actually have to write that down really quickly, and then sometimes I
Yeah,
weeks where there's nothing. It's just
yeah,
like I feel like, oh no, I can't write anything. Is it all gone? You know that, I'm sure.
yeah. That's that. Yeah, they'll where fear of writer's block is almost as bad as writer's block, isn't it? You like this constant, oh, am I gonna, is there anything gonna come out when I sit down? I'm the same. Like the back page of my songbook has all got little scribbled down
Yeah,
ideas or phrases.
yeah.
Yeah. So you going? Does that mean you're going to Texas? Does that mean you're not going to be around for the UK awards
No,
or?
we're actually going the same weekend, so we can't make the ones this week. Because I was there last year, and I've been there the last couple of years actually. 'Cause
Hmm.
I won last year, and then I won the year before. I took the Angel Award as well, so it was just lovely. I love going; it's great. I'm really disappointed not to be going, but on the other side, I will be in Texas, so I'll be yeah, I'll be observing. Don't worry, on the plane, I'll be like making seeing if I've done any. But I mean, the people up for the awards this year is just like you've got some artists like Kezia Gill and that are up for awards, so it's really really tough competition. So, and it was last year. So it's just nice to be put as a finalist because your final five, they give you a lot of airplay. And UK Country Radio have just been amazing anyway. They've been very supportive.
Yeah, yeah, they're great. Alan and his team, they're great. So what's next for Helena Mace then?
Wow. Okay. Well, obviously Texas. So we're going to be documenting all of that and putting that all online as well. And obviously the documentary will come out late September, hopefully as well. So that's going to come out. I'm going to be doing, like I said, a Christmas album, and obviously working with Ken more on country music social media. So we're going to be putting some events on next year with Ken,
Yeah.
and so that'll be exciting. And I hope to play at some of those and meet obviously everybody again, which will be great. So look out for new stuff from country music social media because we're expanding. We're trying to get our acts around the country a bit more. We're taking on new radio stations. I'll be meeting people in Texas about taking on some radio stations as well for our artists. So we've got a lot going on, and we've got PR services now that I'm doing all of those, as you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
big things, and probably drop a new single in the spring. But it'll be a completely
Well,
waterfalls album.
I don't know what you do for energy, but you should bottle it and sell out, I tell you, because it's amazing.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing what's going on in Helena Mace world, and we wish you all the best with it and knock 'em dead in Texas.
I will do. Watch this space. I'll make sure I document everything. But thank you very much for interviewing me today. And
Uh,
see, we'll speak to you again soon. And anyone who wants to download my music, it's all on Spotify, iTunes, and all that kind of stuff. And I'll play one of my videos at the end of this one as well. So, and look up Andy as well. Andy Pritchard, Pilch Music. Look him up as well. He's got some great songs out at the moment. And so, yeah, it's been great to have you on board. Thank you very much.
bless you.
Bye.
Just a smile can warm my heart. There are times when I think of you. Suddenly